Good morning, it's Jonathan Barratt with this morning's debrief. It's April the 21st, and quite an interesting night last night. A lot of bit of fun there. I guess we've got more reportings, good positive reportings out of the States, and that certainly helped the market along. Only up marginally though. Commodities started to bounce back, which was also good, and Goldman's doubles its profit. So that in itself, I think, is quite interesting, considering what's happening with the SEC. There are also calls from Bernanke to reduce the size of some of these investment houses. I'm not quite sure how he'll do that, but that's certainly something that's on the agenda. It suggests that they have too much power. So let's see how that unfolds. Let's see also if the SEC can actually stick that case on Goldman's. Rightio, let's have a quick look at what happened last night. And there we go. I guess there we go. The America, the Dow closed up 25 points, 11,117. The S&P was up 9. The Nasdaq was up 20. Over to Europe is quite positive as well. Stoke was up 43. The FTSE was up 55, and the DAC up 101, and the CAC up 56. All quite positive on that front. The local market also closed up 4,970 on Cycom, and that's up 41 points. So quite positive on that front. So equities all looking all right. As we mentioned, Yahoo's profit exceeds estimates, or some of that positive news that came out, and that certainly sort of helped underpin the move we had in stocks. Everything sort of earnings boost economic confidence, we know that, and that in itself suggests that, well, once again, is the recovery on the way, or are we still in a range? I think that's the leading question. Also, UK airports start opening, so that should provide some relief, certainly to those people thinking that the industry's got a concern, the tourist industry and the airline industry, due to what's happening with that Icelandic volcano. On the economic fronts last night, not a lot to get our teeth into. But I guess the Schiller's case, the US home market weakens just a fraction, but nothing too major there, and nothing to get our concern. I think confidence numbers certainly overran the market. Okay, let's have a look at some of the other markets now, general commodities and currencies, and as we do with the Falcon Trader. Just having a look before we get into those. Dollar index, something we look at all the time. It's 81.13. As you can see, it's still within this big range, this big band here. Really not convinced to do anything either way. There is a propensity for it to try and break through the top side, and let's see how that holds. This is certainly feeling as if the momentum indicators are looking quite positive, but it's still got to do a little bit of work before we can conclude that it wants to trade to the top side. There's the range there, 80.30 on the top side, and as you can see, this mini range here, 81.15, 81.40 on the top side there. All right, having a look at some of the other currencies, the Aussie dollar, 93.17. As you can see, quite a sterling move there, actually a bit uncharacteristic, but that's what it's looking like at the moment. And, you know, it's still consolidated. It might be the chance for a move higher to retest that 93.50. We will be pretty close to that because we just take a small, cheeky, long US dollar against it, and that's under the water at the moment. But we might close that position down. Let's see what happens. Okay, the euro bounding around on the lower end of the range again, and as you can see there, it is there. Came straight off, obviously. It's interesting to know, you know, that the dollar is stronger against the euro, but it is weaker against the Aussie. So that's quite an interesting play there. As you can see there, the euro US, US dollar, the euro is certainly weaker, and the dollar stronger. That's what's also helping to keep that the dollar index in a range. Okay, let's have a quick look at the dollar yen as well. As you can see, the yen's been weakening for some time. That's on the hourly basis. There might be a little bit of a hiccup there soon, but it's certainly coming into some form of a range low. And obviously if it corrects off here, back to here, this 892.50, then that's something I'd certainly have a look at. Rightio, let's have a quick look at the local markets, then we'll get on to some of the commodities. That's what it looks like. Strong bounce off here. Spending a bit of time. Let's see what happens around this trend line here, see whether or not we've got a reaction point off it. The market's tried to hit it a few times and trading off. I think it's still within a range. there is a chance that that market could attempt back to that 5,000. As to whether or not it moves on from there is another story. Let's see what comes. We've got no data out today, well, no major data out today, except for Westpac lean indicators, and let's see what that actually does to the market. Okay, having a look at some of the commodities. Crude, steady within a range, and as you can see there, quite steady there within a range. Had a bit of a spike to the top side after that big fall, and it just seems to be range bound. Not too sure on its direction at the moment. As with gold, I'm not 100% sure there as to what's happening on that one. I've got a small short in gold, and I'm quite happy to hold on to it at the moment. That short was from 11.52. So that's on that front. Let's have a look at some of the softs. Quite a reversal of fortune there, particularly for wheat. This is an amazing move, all the way back. And how can you trade a market like that? It's still within its ranges, and 470. We got out of it around this level, so I'm thinking whether or not I start to get back in again. Overall, we like the complex. It's just a question of trading it to our ability. Soybeans, still long soybeans. Happy with that little trade there. You know, up 7 3/4 cents, taking the top end of it. Let's see whether or not it can trade through it. If it does, then that's positive, but we'll have to wait and see. Corn, 3.56 just sitting there at the moment, so not doing too much, although that did reverse some of last night's trends there. Still like it though, I must admit, down near these areas. Also, I forgot to mention copper. We got a small position on copper, and it, in my mind, it looks weak. Anyway, and I think that it's broken here. We should get it under some pressure soon. I am wrong if it breaks through 355 on the top side. Happy to take the medicine if that's the case. But at the moment, I think that it does look a little bit shabby. Right, in terms of economic news tonight, Westpac leading index today. See what happens for that. We've got a bit of data out of Japan, leading index, and some more merchandise trade. NBA mortgage applications in the States. We've got the Bank of England releases its monetary policy meeting minutes today, and we've got average weekly earnings, etc., etc., etc. So really, that's probably about it. So I guess where to from here in the market? I'm holding on to that short copper. I still think that's a goer, particularly because there's been some changes, particularly in the laws in China, in terms of local councils, and also they're thinking of putting a property tax on. So that'll certainly help the consumption of copper there, hurt the consumption of copper. So happy to keep on that short. As we've still got sugar, we've still got soybeans, and we're short the index small, but only small on that one. But anyway, let's see how it goes. Hope everyone has a great day. We'll try and get this report out in the next couple of days, but I'm in Hong Kong, so it might be a little bit difficulty, but one of my colleagues will do his best to put it out. But have a great day and happy trading.